There's a song in the Broadway in the show. I think it was a movie to Anna and the King of Siam. That's before some of your time, everybody's time. But she sings this song to her students called "Getting to Know You." Really, getting to know you, getting to know. And I can't remember the next line. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to.
Getting to like you, getting to hope you like me.
You want to stand up and sing it? Okay, so I love that. And so, getting to like you, hoping that you like me. Oh. I didn't have any expectation that someone would know that. You think I'm going to make a point with that, don't you? Some people are holding on and think, and now what's he going to say? I think in some ways, like you sit there, and we're sitting here and say, what the hell am I doing, right? I'm closed my eyes, right? And so we're focused on the belly. Some people focus on the belly, on the nose. So what does it mean that if you're sitting and you're getting to know you, what does that mean? Isn't that what you're doing? Isn't that what we're doing? Let alone getting to like me, hoping that I like me. But I think I don't think it's obvious. Do you, Cindy? I don't think it's obvious. We sit and we can have these million ideas that we're sitting at. So I am trying to get my mind to be quiet. Be quiet. Or whatever. And I'll be interested in what you have to say. But what does it mean to get to know yourself? Who is it you're getting to know? There's the rub, as they say. Who is it that you're getting to know? I mean, though you're sitting, did anybody have any thoughts? Did anyone have any thoughts while you were sitting today? You didn't, right? You had no thoughts, right? Did you have any thoughts while you were sitting? Like maybe one. I had like 3 sentences while I was sitting. I mean, not to exaggerate, but I mean, some people probably thought maybe the whole time, 30 minutes and a break. Did anyone think for most? I don't want to embarrass anybody. And then so then I say, if you I say spend 30 minutes now. So if you want to stretch, and probably somebody said, "Thank God." Thank God. So for one thing, I think it's just extraordinary. Like to me, if you're sitting there and we're working on mindfulness, right? And so there's this ability to start like tracking what we're thinking. You know what I mean by tracking, or just seeing what you're sitting there, and so Monica's planning what she's going to do tomorrow. What are you going to do tomorrow? Whatever. So we're sitting there and you're planning what you're going to do tomorrow. That's an opportunity to start getting to know you, isn't it? Oh, planning or whatever, scheming. I don't think it occurs to us very much, right? That the person or the thing or what, I don't even know how to put it, but that which we want to get to know is right here. Right here. Everybody wants to know. No, it's right here. Getting to know me. Getting to know all about me. Now, some people would say, in psychology, people would say that Krishnamurti forgets psychology. He didn't like psychology, by the way. Krishnamurti, I shouldn't say that, but it's the truth. But he would say that you get to know yourself the most through relationship. That's the most opportunity you have to know who you are as the reflection in, who you love, or who you hate, right? You can know a lot about yourself with someone that you hate. I'd like to kill her. That would tell you a lot about anger, wouldn't it, in yourself, right? But so that would be the primary way that we learn who we are in this life, in this world, in the West at least, is through relationship. But so I think, and I'd like to suggest to you that that's why this is a little alien to us. That I mean, I think it's kind of funny. What the hell am I supposed to be doing when I meditate, right? So we have a technique. Okay, I'm going to follow my breath. I'm going to do this. Or, Shinsen is fabulous for technique, right? I'm going to watch, talk, or feel, or whatever. But I think it's just so easy to forget that really what we're doing is we're sitting to get to know me. Get to know all about me. And, so you can get very, this can get very confusing because Buddhism will say, well, there ain't no you. Damn. So, but in the West, that doesn't help very much. I don't think it's necessarily, well, I don't think it's even true, but I mean, in the context of what we're doing. So I love the second line. And it's interesting that I forgot the second line. Because, remember, so last Sunday we had a interesting discussion. I had read this wonderful passage by Carl Jung where he said that we have to learn how to be yay-sayers. I love that. Yay-sayers. Do you know what that means? What does that mean to be a yay-sayer? You don't know what that means? Like someone said, well, does that mean yay? Y-A-Y, right? But he's saying Y-E-A, yay-sayer, as opposed to nay-sayer. Yay-sayer would be that there's this way in which you are always kind to yourself. Right? You're always kind and accepting of yourself. And so then John and I were talking about this, but it would be cultivating this ability to be watching yourself as and saying yay. I mean, rather than, oh, this is bad, this is evil. Well, I certainly can have this bad part of me. So if the ego says I can't have this bad part of me, right? For instance, I can't be angry with Norman, and I really can't be angry with you, except when I am. If your ego says I can't, if I can't be angry, I can't be bad, I can't be cruel, all of those ugly things. Where do they go? Where does bad, angry, cruel mean go? It just goes away, right? It vanishes. Just vanishes, right? It goes over to the Middle East and goes into all those bad people. So that's the whole problem with the Middle East, right? They've got all of our bad stuff. So it goes into you, into your body. It goes into your belly. It goes into your heart. I mean, physically, but more than that, psychically, it goes into your unconscious. So now let's say now that it goes into your unconscious. I don't like that part of me. Do you have any part of you that you don't like, Aaron? Okay. So I don't like that part of me. That part I'm going to eliminate. Okay, so now then you have pushed that away so that you really don't, you can just pretend it's not real. Right? And then what's it going to do to you? You know what it's going to do. So you have a friend that you find yourself saying the most horrifying things to. You can't believe that you would say those things. To your parents, or to your child, or to your friend, or to yourself. The part that you push away from yourself will always bite you in the butt. Just, it's a no-brainer. So I'll go back again and I say that if you imagine that sitting, that as we're sitting, that that each person here, just think about that. It's like, here we are, and how many people in this room are unique? Is there anyone here who is unique? The truth is, everybody in this room is unique. We all have legs and arms. Thank God we do. You know, I just really had this moment, this panic. I thought, oh my God, what if someone's got a limb in here? You remember when Vice President Biden was at a huge thing, was on television, right? And he was praising this guy, right, in a wheelchair, and he said, "Stand up, Joe." Oh, it's just awful. It was the most embarrassing moment, right? He said, "Stand up, Joe, and just let him clap for you," right? And then he said, "Oh no, you can't do that." So when I said that about we all have legs and arms, I thought, oh shoot. And I did a quick check. You all seem to have legs and arms. But meaning that, like, in other words, that's not unique, right? It's not unique. You've got a brain, you've got a body, that's not unique. But that which you're getting to know is actually unique. It is. There's nothing else like it, and there never will be. There'll never be another martyr. There'll never be another one. Ever. There'll be some similar, maybe. Never be another one. And thank God there'll never be another John. But that's a different story. No, I was just kidding.
Okay.
So, but if that's true, right? I mean, if that's true, that there's this extraordinary uniqueness about what each of us are, then wouldn't meditation be something about that? I mean, this capacity to watch kindly and to be interested in getting to know me, getting to know all about me, which I think, if you do that, I think the next line comes. Because then it's getting to like me. I think that will come from getting to know me. So that was not my Dharma talk today. It really wasn't. It wasn't. I had no intention to say one of those words, not one of those words, except that it just thought, getting to know you. So it's 3 o'clock. By the way, I mean, it's 4 o'clock. This clock is 1 hour back, and I'd like for you to fix it when you can. I started to fix it, but I couldn't figure it out to save my life. Do you have to open it to fix it? There's well, never mind.
It doesn't just take care of itself. We'll wait till next year.
So I'm going to say another little bit here, okay? Can you all take about 10 more minutes? You can? I want to share with you. This may actually fit with what I'm saying. I mean, the first part. If I'm lucky. And it may not at all. I've done this before. I've talked about this. One of my, I think I've done maybe a Dharma talk. I didn't bring my glasses. Oh, shoot. So I want to share this with you, and I would like for you to, everybody here, to remember this from now on, as long as you live. I will come around and do tests on you. Every 3 years or so, I'll check and see. This is a really, really important thing. And so those of you who have been coming here for years, I'm sure you've heard this, Martha, but and you probably have. But I do this. I read this probably like about every 3 years. No joke. I'd say it's been 3 years at least. This is like it's a Chinese. This is a Chinese saying. That means it came from China. Or it could come from India. And I bet you've never heard it. Wrong. So this is quoted in, this is a commentary that Carl Jung wrote in 1929. Does everybody know who he is, Carl Jung? He's the best. He is absolutely the number one best. So he's writing this commentary to this Chinese, The Secret of the Golden Flower, which is extraordinary. It's a yoga, he calls it Chinese yoga. That's not really correct, but that's what they would that's how they referred to it back in 1930. An ancient adept, so an ancient sage, has said, so this is an old Chinese thing, if the wrong person, I'm doing this, I hate the way everybody says man, and no one, they never say woman, and so I'm going to just say if the wrong person, because that's much more accurate. If the wrong person uses the right means, if the wrong person uses the right means works in the wrong way. Travis, what the hell does that mean? Now is you getting that quickly, or is that just kind of deep? You getting it quickly, or is that deep?
That's a colon.
Robin's over there. Robin is just like musing off that.
You talking about intention?
No. I mean, it's talking about a lot of stuff, right? And so you could put intention. You could say that. I mean, but to some extent, it is. It's Mr. Jung's, one of his primary. I'm going to read a little bit more. It's a core teaching, belief that he had. But okay, all right. So he's talking about vipassana meditation, Zen meditation, psychotherapy. He's talking about any means in the world, right? Some business model. It doesn't matter, right? Your technique that you use at the gym, right? I studied the piano for 75 million years. In fact, I studied jazz in Brooklyn for 4 years, trudged in the snow for 4 years, and every week, and at the end of 4 years, I still couldn't. I never was able to switch my classical training over to jazz. It's very greatly disappointing. So, if the wrong person uses the right means works in the wrong way. So he's saying that technique is not as important as the person. So that's back to what I said about everybody in here is unique. Now, I think that most of you would notice that if you come to Long Beach Meditation for over a period of years, and someone said, well, what does Victor teach? I've never taught one technique, have I? Right? I don't, because it's like, if you insist on one technique, it's going to be right for one right person, but then there's going to be 10 people that won't be right. So he goes on, and I'll read this. The Chinese saying, unfortunately, is all too true. No, all too true, stands in sharp contrast to our belief, and he means by us in the West, that the right method, I'm sorry, I'm really stuttering. That it's in contrast to our belief in the right method, irrespective of the person who applies it. In reality, in such matters, everything depends on the person, and little or nothing on the method. That is so important for you to get. Okay? It doesn't depend on the method, it depends on the person. So to some extent, it's up to you to find the way that matches your person. You're not supposed to match yourself to the way, because if you do that right, you're really distorting something in yourself. He says the method is merely the path, the direction taken by a person. The way the person acts is the expression of their nature. If it ceases to be this, then the method is nothing more than an affectation, something artificially added, rootless and sapless, serving only the illegitimate goal of self-deception. So I'm going to maybe read this next part, and maybe I'm not. No, I'm not going to read anymore. So So I suggested to you that when we're sitting, that what we're sitting to do is to get to know ourselves. Hmm? And that's not a method. That's a goal, right? I mean, it could be, and so the question is, what is your method for doing that? Your method may be vipassana, mindfulness meditation. It may be some deep tranquility, concentration. What's important is that each of us, and I certainly include myself, that we have this willingness to believe that the way is something that is unique to each of us. It's not something outside of you. That, you know, if you could go to like the temple, Jewish temple, or the Christian church, or the, right? I mean, you go to these outside things, and then they show you the way. What he is saying, and I certainly believe it, that the way is something that can only be discovered uniquely by you. And you know, so in other words, you could say, well, I'm gonna do what Victor does. Well, of course, you don't anybody do that. I mean, you can find a teacher and you think they're brilliant, right? Or some brilliant teacher, some wonderful teacher, and well, they're the way. They've got the way. But the truth is, the way exists only in you. And so that's what he means by, right, if the wrong person. It's like you're not a wrong person. He's not saying there's anything wrong about you. He's saying that if the technique is wrong for you, then you are the wrong person for it, right? Obviously. So, I wish I could just, help you believe that you have within yourself the way. I wish I could help everybody believe that and find that. But it's not so easy because we've grown up so believing that we don't have that inside of ourselves, that it's out there, right? The answer is out there, the way is out there, the teacher is out there, or the discipline is out there. The Buddha is out there, or the Christ is out there, or Allah is out there, or conservatism is out there, or liberalism is out there. I mean, right? I mean, all of the answers are out there, they're not in here. And so, I'm just going to say this, go all the way back to the beginning. I think it's just an extraordinary moment, or an extraordinary thing to be plopping yourself down on that cushion where you are. And then your posture is, and some of you, it's god awful. And it's god awful. I mean, well, it's fine. It's what it needs to be. It's what it needs to be for each of us. And I mean, I have issues with my head dropping down, and plopping yourself on your cushion, and having that intention and that awareness. You're not sitting there to try to be calm. You're not sitting there trying to get your mind to quit going, or you're not sitting there to be enlightened even. You're not sitting there for anything other than this yay saying, this moment by moment by moment being with yourself and getting to know yourself. And I think in this world in which we live, this is the only, I'm not so sure that we're even, well, never mind, I won't go to the relationship. But this relationship with yourself, right? Does that sound weird to have a relationship with yourself? Right? What? Who, me? And so, but this nurturing, this self-nurturing by sitting and being with yourself. And then getting to know yourself. Getting to know all the squirrely parts. Oh, boy, I'm going to screw him. I mean, getting all those squirrely parts, you know, and all of the good parts, and not judging the good nor the bad, but just being with and nurturing that along that's the way. It's the closest I can come to saying it. And that's all I've got to say.